I apologize for that. The phone died on me. But for real, like, even though I'm talking like this and it's crazy, it's scary, it's bigger than all of us. But just know that it's in God's hands. Truly, it's truly in God's hands. The enemy has to tell the truth, but it tells the truth as a lie, or it tells half truths, or they nipple feed you, then spoon food feed you, and then sooner or later they allow you to have the whole course. But by that time, they have full control, or we so numb and dumbfounded because we feel we have no power, or we we lower class, or we middle class, or you know we we illegal, or we foreigners, however we programmed, or we allowed ourselves to be desensitized, put in a cage with no bars. A lot of us worry about going to prison or to jail, but we in the biggest prison there is, one that has you believing that you're free, but yet you truly trapped. Which you can't free yourself, but you have to be willing to stand strong for yourself and then for others. This awakening, or being chosen, or having God's mercy or favor, it's a great honor, but it comes with a weight that a lot of people can't handle, or truly no mortal person can handle, or even, alien. Because if you truly are a king or queen, an emperor, empress, prince, princess, with status, spiritual status, or even, status in the 3D world, the prestige, the name that was built, if you haven't built it yourself, holds a certain standard, or did hold a certain standard. Even these seats of honor, as far as running the government, being the president, being the vice president, being, part of the Democrat, the Republican, and the conservative parties, and whatever else is involved in that. Those seats are for people that see the people, love themselves, and love the people as they love themselves. These seats, these high honored seats, as judges, lawyers, police officers, doctors, and so on, that, you know, help the world survive, you know, to maintain or, you know, help govern itself. It's not to govern us, it's to help govern us, where we don't take it in our hands, we take it in the public, you know, with fairness, honor, and truth, and let you know, true justice lie where it's supposed to lie, and nothing should be brought into court that's false. That, you know, that's a waste of everybody's time, energy, that you call resources, you know, confusion, and all the other stuff that it brings with it. it it's a true crime, not just to the individual that experiences it, but to that person's family, to the people that involved, you know, the judge and the lawyers and all that. They, our choices and how we handle certain things, knowingly or unknowingly, if it's negative, which a lot of it has become that way, but don't hold yourself accountable, but be merciful with yourself, for the simple fact this been prophesied, this been foretold. You couldn't change the world that we live in or the timeline that we live in if you wanted to. The whole thing in the church or the religion, you know, was main thing was to be aware, to be present, to see what we dealing with, how we dealing with it. And I thank God that even though it's weird, but his word is out here in many different languages, or her word, alien word, spirit word, source word, word words that hold truth to eternity. And for the ones that truly seek truth, understanding, actually was called to, with understanding of what they read, heard, or, you know, saw, was truth. And it moved, you know, moved them to find out more. Me, I want a timeline where our children, our kinfolk, our distant cousins, you know, different, you know, from the different cultures and nationalities, for the individuals that still want to hold that concept that you're black, you're white, you're Spanish, you're Mexican, you and so forth. You know, the spectrum of the rainbow and all in between. There's only one race as far as here, human race, or the ones that we recognize as, you know, the human race. I'm not taking nothing away from nobody's culture, language, or anything like that, because I can't. It's those things was made to be for whatever reasons they are made to be. There's causes and consequences, and This is where we at. But we could also renew the, the original state if we all could see beyond the illusion, the psychological programming that you this nationality and I'm this nationality. We got some black people that speak phenomenal Spanish. You swear to God that they was about how fluent and comfortable with what they are. But if they didn't tell you what they are, you would swear that they was that because they do have dark skinned Puerto Ricans or different variations of them. So you would take it like that, and all the other languages the same thing. So we got white people that speak like they black. You know that to be. You got the southerners that you would swear to God that they was if you didn't see them in person. Like for real. Like so it's not about skin color. It's not about it's about being being a being who you are, who you are. It's not according to nationality. It's you are you, and me at the same time. Because whatever I'm capable of doing or desire to be like or create develop whatever I develop that might be appealing to whatever individual. It ain't nothing stopping y'all to cultivate that. Just like it ain't nothing stopping me from cultivating whatever I feel that y'all that I'm drawn to or what have you. Like I said, we pick up what we want to pick up. We turn down what we want to turn down. But all is meant to explore, and the more you have experience of the grand stare, the more understanding you have of the whole. And no, I don't know everything. If I knew everything, we wouldn't be experiencing what we experiencing. You wouldn't be experiencing what you're experiencing. It's truly about this journey of awakening, of growth, not life, but awakening to what life truly is and can be. Yes, I could complain about why do we have to, or why we have to experience, why God couldn't just make everybody happy. Well, I had those questions. I still feel those feelings, like for real, like what the hell? But I can't change it. You can't change it. Generations upon generations to infinity has experienced it and will experience this. So why not grow with it, learn it, have a true understanding of it? And if somebody was able to truly map it out or give a guide to help navigate this, why wouldn't that individual not put that out there. It knows what it experienced, let alone what it seemed others experienced, and could imagine how much more that you you don't know. You only know what was spoken to you by that individual, or however you perceived whatever that individual was going through, and still you could have been wrong, and it could have been a lot more of behind that, just like in your life. So that's that judging part. You don't know. You just perceiving whatever you think you perceiving, which you truly have no business perceiving. The only thing you're supposed to perceive is your life and hopefully your families, and not even theirs, but you know, be that guide to have them navigate theirs a little better than how you had to navigate yours. That's ain't that our purpose, to leave something to our lineage, to not go through or experience a lot of stuff that we have experienced, for them to have a better life than we did, financially, spiritually, you know, mentally, what have, and all possibilities. But yet I'm looked at as the alien. Don't y'all know y'all look like an alien to me too? And if you calling me an alien, everybody you around, that's different from you. You perceive them as an alien. So what's the difference? This is the magic. This is the confusion. This is the illusion that we all caught up under. Forget the complaining about why or how, and start fixing you, understanding you, doing what you feel is best for you and where you want to be and going. And be mindful that every little decision adds to that, to the direction or not the direction, to distractions and all. And we all try to be multitaskful instead of focusing on one thing at a time, or one level at a time in whatever subjects, but do this level in this subject, and then if you want to change subjects to do a level in that, then do that. But don't be doing this level, that level, this level, that level, all at the same time, because now you've got them fighting each other. Now you know, giving this one more time than you give this one. You give this one more time than that one, and this one lesser, whatever. However, it falls that way. Let alone what life throws on top of that. Got mad at me because I talk like this. I talk like I know, or that I know more than y'all know, which I don't. I'm just speaking what y'all already know, that y'all not willing to say yourselves, over whatever reason, fear of being looked at, fear of being the oddball. But you the oddball regardless. If you gotta be a certain way for any individual or group to accept you, there's no point of being there, because they don't accept you. They know that you ain't what you claim to be. Because if you was, you'll be them. You understand? A killer knows another killer. If they don't, they never spoke a day in their life. They can see it. They can smell it. They could. You understand? It's a raw energy there. To a person that fakes it, that act like they that. A person that's loud with it, boastful with it. Those are the ones that be allowed to be around. But those are the sacrifices that don't know that they're going to be a sacrifice because they trying to prove something. Then the real one is going to be like, all right, since you such and such, such and such, I have a situation. Da, 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 da. What's up? They like, now they got to step up to the plate or fall back. And then you don't want to fall back in front of the killers and the other killers in the room. Cause now, boom. And they already know. And this is not just for killers, but this is in every situation. It's for people that's real about what they real about. No, real recognize real. That's where that statement truly come from. But it just be used as a slang, as a how you say a slogan that you go out to town. That oh yeah, I know that one. Or but do you really understand it? Do you not just know what it's supposed to mean, but truly know the weight of it? And if you faking in any in wearing a mask in any capacity, you've seen it. And the people that really are just allowing you to build up that portfolio for the big, scene where you fall down and embarrassed and you think you worried about people just doing a little snickering and popping a little shit that they do now. Or for little shit, you know, against other people. Imagine when the big shit happens. They don't forget about the little shit. Every time you come to a circle, you turn around and shit. So it ain't going the same way. All right, what you call it? Let's that you call it. Let me throw the limelight off of me. Oh, yo, you remember such and such, such and such. Get the focus off of them. They throw you under the bus with something that everybody already know or have heard, and they gonna laugh. Ha 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 ha. Just imagine the big folly. Hey, look at, see, that's what happens to you all this time. You such and such, such and such, such and such. And look at you now. Now you don't want to show your face. You don't want to come outside. Th- these are the things that we don't realize that we doing. If we doing it, if we even taught that we shouldn't be doing it, or even see it as that, because I know I didn't see it as that as clear as I'm seeing it is now. So I know it's divine. That's divinely, given, and it's truth. It ain't nothing that I could do or you could do to dispute it, because you'll fall on your face. You'll actually experience the downside of it, or be wise enough to see the truth of it. And okay, I know not to do that, or be mindful of, both sides, what's being presented and what's being received. You know, only time you get over on somebody is, like I said, when they don't really know. you have an advantage. So that means all of us is at a disadvantage. I don't like that. Do you? So what is there left to do is try to acquire as much knowledge as you can, not just grabbing it, but you know, understanding it and cultivating it and adding it to the big picture that you could use, and hopefully using it in a good way, not the way that you have experienced it because you didn't know. And just because a person don't know don't mean they shouldn't be treated with kind and respect and, you know, abuse. Because if you have that understanding by going through the trial, and then now that you have that understanding, you using that same understanding to get over the next individual because somebody got over on you. Hurt people, hurt people, hurt people, hurt people. That's basically what you doing consciously or unconsciously, or happened to me that you call why. What I had to learn it, so why I can't make them learn it. Who made you teacher? And if you thinking about it like that, where is your intention that you are truly wicked, and by that sin alone, you are unclean, and that's why we all fall short of being, you know, clean. And the only way to be made clean is to acknowledge that you are unclean, and no matter how much you think you're gonna clean yourself up in this lifetime or the next or the multiple, you'll never be purely clean unless you truly in spirit, and then that depends on who you are in spirit. So there is no escape, just transitions. I wish I had people with that I could actually bounce my thoughts off of, and they could do the same things of, true enlightenment. Because I noticed that, you know, it's short and rare, and we gotta be extra, how you say, observant and mindful of how we see things, why we see certain things this way, and is it a wound that has us that way? There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of growth that needs to be done within each individually in their own time, in their own understanding, in their own relationship with the Most High, not the underlings, but the Most High through His Son and Him. The the source itself, the conduit from the true prophets, the true saints, and I, I will stick to prophets and oracles. That saint word, placing anybody as a saint, for I don't see it. It's, I don't see it. I don't even see Jesus as a saint. I see him as God in human form. The closest thing to God in human form. That was in human form. Real, to, to the amount of stuff that I have experienced and have an understanding of, to know that Jesus went through that infinity fold for everybody. Truly powerful, man. That meant every second, every hour, every day, his life was in true jeopardy. True jeopardy from everything and everyone that knew he was a threat, but didn't know how the threat was being used. They didn't understand. They knew it was a threat, but they didn't know how its workings. You know, it didn't have the format. It didn't know, the positioning of, why this was done, for this to be done, for it to get weird. Like, see, God is so, so, so awesome, so all-knowing. You ain't nothing ain't nothing source don't know or have an understanding of that it can't counteract or correct at any point, at any time. That's why it says, "Come to me," what you call it, love me like you love no other. You know, if you want to choose a God, choose me, the God of gods. Don't worship nothing else but me. You can honor, but honoring and worship is two different things. You know, acknowledging and honor is basically the same thing. You're acknowledging, but you ain't worshiping. And if anything needs you to worship it without you asking, you know, that tells you that you need to worship it, or forcefully say you got to do this to do that. No, you don't have to do it, but it's to your benefit that you do. The more that you do, the more close in relationship that you have, not faking, but growing and having understanding that what you're doing is actually fulfilling what it says it does. Come to me for everything. Rely on me for everything. Put your trust in me for everything, because everything that I do is for your good, to your edifying, to your understanding. Even when you don't understand, in hindsight, you'll understand. It's not meant for you to understand when you under the test or you in the trial. It's for you to experience it. It's good things to know, even harder to keep in mind and put everything in every category, in every order on that scale, and be diligent to never lose it. There's information, though, that we run across that we have, but we don't put into use. So it could eventually disappear until it's refreshed or needs to be used. And if it haven't been used, you might remember parts of it. You're not going to remember a whole. Like, you will remember something that you have intimately, done, you know, practice physically, mentally, and daily to, a good extent. I hope this helps. I pray for everybody to have this understanding that God awakens them, you know, breaks them, humbles them, because that's basically what it is. Our ignorance, our doubtfulness, our so-called intellect of what we know and how we know it to be brought to naught. Our greatness is insignificant, and it will always be that because you'll forever grow. There's a never-ending learning curve here. You could die and come back and still learn more. Even if your mind wasn't erased when you come back. You're in a new vessel, but you have all that information, which we do. You just have to unlock it. But I'm saying already unlocked. It's just a straight continuation of where you left off. That's some shit to think about. But y'all enjoy yours.